Hey everyone, and welcome. Thanks for taking the time to join us here today. My name is Asad. I'm the Enterprise Account Executive here at Pathway. We work with brokerages to help them streamline workflows, boost efficiency, and improve client communication. So, if exploring technology solutions is on your mind, we're happy you joined us today so that we can show you how automation can start making a meaningful impact on your business right away.
And my name is Dana Velimirovic. I'm the head of sales here at Pathway. Thank you for joining us today. Asad, I'll let you take over from here.
Good. So let's begin with a quick background on Pathway. Now, we're an award-winning, purpose-built solution for insurance brokerages trusted by over 300 businesses globally, spanning Canada, the US, and the UK. Our platform integrates with all major broker management systems like Acturus, Epic, SIG, PowerBroker, and more. And our mission is to help brokerages cut down on manual work, reduce errors, and create a smooth, efficient client experience through automation. At the end of the day, the goal is to free up your time so you can focus on what really matters, which is your clients. Now, you may have recently found yourself asking why there's so much chatter related to automation in the industry lately. Does it really matter? Will it actually make a difference or an impact? And the answer is absolutely yes. The insurance industry is moving faster than ever before. Clients are becoming more technically advanced and now expect quick, seamless service. Brokerages that don't adapt, unfortunately, risk getting left behind. And this is where automation comes in. It's not just a time saver, it's a game changer. By handling key interactions like renewals, payment reminders, and even upsell opportunities, automation ensures that no critical touch point is missed. So instead of spending time on repetitive manual tasks, your team can focus on what really matters, building those strong client relationships and providing a personalized service. And even beyond efficiency, automation also plays a crucial role in driving retention, increasing sales, and ensuring compliance. So it helps brokerages stay proactive, it reduces the chance of human error, and keeps everything running smoothly behind the scenes, all in an effort to lighten the workload for your team. So simply put, it allows your brokerage to scale and grow without the growing pains. Now, some key challenges that many brokerages face today, and if any of these sound familiar, I promise you, you're not alone. Too much manual work, sending renewal reminders, payment follow-ups, and other repetitive tasks, they just eat up hours every week. There's inconsistent client communication, missed engagement opportunities that can lead to, lost sales and coverage gaps. Retention struggles. If clients don't feel engaged, they're more likely to switch providers at renewal time. And even errors in renewals and policies. We all know that manual work increases the risk of miscommunication or compliance issues. Another great one that's not on here is high operational costs. Inefficiencies make it harder to grow profitably. So these challenges can all slow down your business, impact client satisfaction, and of course, hurt revenue growth. Now, this is where automation comes in. By automating key communications, you can save time and free up your team for higher value tasks like retention and sales. Improve client experience and keep clients engaged with timely, relevant updates. You can reduce E&O risks by ensuring important policy details and compliance documents don't get missed. And as well as you can increase revenue by identifying upsell and cross-sell opportunities automatically. And with Pathway, every client interaction is logged, giving you valuable insights into reporting and data accuracy. Now, at this point, you might be thinking, well, this all sounds great, guys, but what exactly can we automate? And that's a fair question. The power of automation lies in streamlining those everyday tasks that take up valuable time. So let's take a look at some of the core automation features our Pathway clients are using today and how they can make a difference in your brokerage. So renewal or pre-renewal campaigns. Keeping clients engaged before their renewal date is key to retention. With automated pre-renewal campaigns, clients receive timely reminders and proactive touchpoints, reducing the risk of last-minute rushes or policy lapses. But it's more than just reminders. Pathway can also help identify coverage gaps. So, for example, if a home policy is up for renewal without sewer backup coverage, Pathway can flag this and suggest it to both the client and the account manager. It automatically sends a notification via activity and or email that includes a pre-built recommendation in the pre-renewal letter. This way, clients stay informed and your team gets valuable opportunities to enhance coverage. Payment reminders and follow-ups. So ensuring timely client payments is a labor-intensive task. Chasing payments takes time, puts pressure on your team, and of course, disrupts cash flow. Now, with Pathway, weekly payment reminders are automated, saving significant time for your support team. This automation will also improve your cash flow. And our users have reported that they've reduced the average number of days an insured takes to make their overdue payments from 6 days past the due date down to 4. And automated payment reminders take the hassle out of collections by reducing late payments, cutting down on follow-ups, and making it easier for clients to pay. So you can even include a direct payment link, whether it's to a carrier's page for a direct bill policy or your brokerage's website for any agency billed accounts. With Pathway, your team stays focused on higher value tasks. Your client gets a seamless payment experience and your brokerage benefits from improved cash flow. Document delivery. Pathway makes it simple to send policy documents securely and electronically, giving clients instant access while reducing paperwork. Cross-selling and upselling workflows. So, cross-selling or upselling policies presents a valuable opportunity to grow your business while simultaneously improving retention rates. It's a straightforward strategy that enhances client engagement and maximizes portfolio value. With Pathway, you're not just selling policies, you're strengthening client relationships and ensuring that they have the right protection in place when they need it most. Forms, automation, and example here. There you go. So now we all know that filling out forms manually is a hassle and can lead to errors and delays. Now with Pathway, brokers can skip the busy work by using automated pre-filled forms that pull client data and policy details directly from the VMS. So when a broker needs a client to complete a form, whether it's for a policy update, renewal, claim, or other request, Pathway automatically fills in all known details. The client then receives a digital form with their information already in place. So all they need to do is review, confirm, and add any missing details. So this way it's faster, easier, and it eliminates the unnecessary back and forth. Kiosk. So today's clients expect instant access to information and services. And that's exactly what our self-service kiosk provides. With 24/7 availability, policyholders can access documents, complete payments, and submit requests on their own. There's no need to call or wait for office hours. This is not only an improvement to their experience, but it also saves your team valuable time. The kiosk is designed to be intuitive and user-friendly, ensuring a seamless, hassle-free experience for both clients and brokers. Now, to show you the impact of automation, Here are some key numbers from our Pathway users. Helping brokers keep clients informed and engaged, there's over 2 million emails that are sent through Pathway per month on average. In an effort to reduce paperwork and increase efficiency, on average, over 100,000 documents per month are delivered through Pathway. Pathway also helps streamline data entry and client interactions, and over 70,000 forms are completed each month. And brokerages that are using 7 or more workflows have seen retention increase by 3% or more in their first year, which is proof that automation strengthens client relationships. Now, these stats help us understand that automation isn't just for efficiency. It helps you grow and scale in a competitive market. So now that we have a solid overview, let's jump into the fun part. So Dana will provide us with a live demo where she will walk us through how to set up workflows, automate client communication, and how Pathway integrates with your BMS.
Thank you, Asad. Thank you for a great intro. Okay, so just a quick recap on what Asad was previously explaining. So Pathway integrates with your BMS, which is extremely important because that allows Pathway to use seamlessly the data you already have. So there is no need to create lists, download reports, upload them to third party. Pathway does all of that automatically. In Canada specifically, we integrate with every major management system, including Actors, Power Broker, SIG, Applied Epic, Applied TAM, and others. And with most of them, we have what we call a two-way integration. So this means that once Pathway is implemented, we will have a daily sync where on a daily basis, Pathway is picking up on all the updates in your system. So client details, policy details, activities, abeyances, tasks, depending on the system you're using, opportunities, whatever makes sense using for automating client communication. And Pathway is using that data to run automated workflows in the background. Now, as you will see, workflows within Pathway can consist of client-facing emails, but also SMS, document delivery, smart online questionnaires, and then also internal communication. So as part of Pathway workflow, you can have an email alert going out to the CSR producer working with the client, or account handler, account executive if you're based in the UK. So you can use Pathway to send alerts to your team members if and when you need them involved in a specific workflow. And generally speaking, everything that Pathway does would get pushed back to your system, again, depending on the one you're using, creating an activity with an attachment or with a link or a task or an abeyance, meaning that your team will see all the updates in your BMS. They don't need to log into Pathway to see what email client has received or if a client has completed the questionnaire. Now, I'll start with a few examples of what brokers are typically using Pathway for, and then I'll show you the UI and how easy it is to build these workflows and what options we have there. So starting with e-delivery. E-delivery is our #1 workflow in Canada, and we're working with, well, almost 400 brokers today. I would say that probably every Canadian user is using Pathway for e-delivery, which is especially relevant in times like now when we have industry updates and companies canceling paper. So there is, of course, a very detailed setup we would go through. But once the setup is completed, Pathway will pick up on any document you have in your system. So is it a renewal, new business, an invoice, and completely automates the delivery. How those emails can look like. So here you can see an example. So Pathway is generating an email. Of course, there is a personalized text with all the details again you would like to include here. But instead of attaching the document to the email, or redirecting the clients and informing them there is a portal they can use to access their documents. This is very streamlined and very simplified for the end user. So they're receiving an email, and they would have a button where it says access your documents or download now, however we name it. When they click on it, they would be redirected to a unique location where they would have their documents. They can download them in PDF and store them on their device. Now, this can be a single document or multiple documents, again, depending on the setup, on the workflow. It is fully customizable. But important to mention, and of course, Pathway is available in English and French, but this would be a unique temporary link that would expire after 48 hours or upon 3 clicks. So these links are generated for every delivery. They're unique and they're expiring. But once they expire, client would have a different page where they would be informed that they can click on a specific link, and they would receive a new email with a fresh link. And again, they would be able to access their documents completely automatically. So no need for any manual intervention. So this is, again, the feedback we're getting from brokers. This is saving them a lot of time, helping them streamline documents delivery. And also because, as we will talk more about it, Pathway is recording every interaction. You would have, for your E&O purposes, reports related to document delivery as well. The next very, very common workflow is pre-renewals, as we call them, getting in touch with clients before the renewal date. Again, there is a setup we would go through. We'll talk about it in a bit, but brokers are using these workflows to get in touch with their clients in a timely manner before the renewal has been processed. So 60, 90, 45 days before the renewal, again, depending on your internal processes. Client is receiving an email where basically they are being informed that their renewal is coming, and they are being asked to update their information by completing an online questionnaire that would be part of this email. Now, before I jump to the questionnaire, just to mention here, so because Pathway integrates with your system, within this email, we can have a lot more personal details included. So client details, policy details, policy number, renewal date, whatever makes sense, including in this email, Pathway would pull in those details automatically. So these emails can be hyper personalized. And additionally, they are coming from your team, from a specific person, to be more precise. So CSR or producer, the client is typically communicating with. So let's say a client is receiving an email that looks something like this, and you're asking them to update their information. When they click on this button, they would be redirected to an online form where they would have a set of questions, whatever you would like to ask them. And of course, for different clients, we would have different emails, different content, but also different forms. This is a very simple form, how a pre-renewal questionnaire can look like. We're seeing different examples. Some brokers have very complex forms where they're pulling in specific risk details they would like clients to review. Some have very short, simple ones where they're just checking in with the client and allowing them an opportunity to let the broker know if there are any changes on their end. So again, fully customizable. Some great features here. So we can have conditional logic built in, depending on the answer client is providing. We can have a hidden question now popping up, or there can be a piece of text, maybe some explanation you're providing related to the answer they have provided previously. And for the end user, for the client, this is a very user-friendly experience. So they can do this, they can complete this questionnaire on their phone, on their desktop. Everything they need to do is to go through these questions, provide their answers, and click complete, and they're done. Once they do this, your team, again, depending on the setup, CSR producer or someone else from the team is receiving an email with the questionnaire, with the answers or the link to the completed questionnaire. And again, depending on your BMS, there would be an update pushed back to your system, so your team can pick up on it there as well. So for example, for Epic, we would have an activity that is open, assigned to a specific team member with the questionnaire in the attachment. For Actoris, there would be a task with a link to the completed questionnaire. With our broker, it would be an abeyance with a link for SIG. So again, depending on the system, but you would have an update pushed back to your BMS. And just quickly a bit more about these forms. So forms can be used for pre-renewals, but then also whenever you have a few questions you would like to ask your clients, we can build a form and add them to the emails in your pathway, so you can engage your clients this way. These forms can be hosted on your website as well, so we're seeing some brokers doing that as well. Next one up, billing reminders. So as Asad was mentioning previously, these brokers are finding these workflows extremely valuable. On one end, automating payment reminders is helping them save a lot of time on a weekly basis. It helps them improve their cash flow. And also because, again, everything with Pathway is recorded, there would be a report you can pull out related to any communication with the client. So typically, billing reminder workflow would have email number one once the client is late. Then 7 days later, Pathway's checking based on the data in your BMS if the client is still late. If they're still late, email number two goes out. Maybe now there is a text message following up on that email. And then 14 days later, if they're still late, system is sending alerts to the CSR producer, your team, to let you know client is now late for X number of days and manual intervention is needed. So your team can reach out to the client through different channels as well. But with Pathway, it's not just transactional communication, right? So renewals, e-delivery, and billing reminders are for sure big time savers. So we are getting great feedback from brokers that are using the system. Their team, Pathway is helping their teams be more efficient. It is helping them streamline those processes, but then also on marketing end. So when you think about all the data you already have in your BMS, with Pathway, you can easily use it, create specific segments of clients you would like to target with a different content. So is it a cross-sell or an upsell campaign based on the policy type or based on the coverage? You can easily create very customized campaigns and target your clients with relevant content that they will actually be interested in, right? So here you can see how a cross-sell email can look like. And of course, you can have additional links. So if you're using quoting tools or you have landing pages you would like them to visit, we can link them behind buttons within your Pathway email, but also you can use Pathway forms if you would like to build a simple request a quote form. That is an option as well. When it comes to marketing workflows, NPS is a must for sure. So today, online reviews are becoming more important than ever, right? So it is also important to stay in touch with your clients and to ask them how satisfied they are with the service you're providing. With NPS, that can again be completely streamlined, where a client is receiving an email quarterly or every few months, again, depending on your preference, and you're asking them to provide their feedback on how satisfied they are with the service. So if a client is receiving this email and they're clicking on 9 or 10, they are very happy. So what will happen here, you can ask them for an online review. So they will have a different screen where you can link your Google page or different pages, again, depending on your preference. And now they have an opportunity to leave an online review hassle-free. Of course, we cannot guarantee that every client will leave a review, but at least we know that only happy clients will have this prompt, and hopefully all the reviews will be positive. At the same time, those not so positive, maybe negative reviews are also very important, and you want to be aware of them. So if a client is clicking on a low rating, they would have a different screen where still they have the opportunity to provide their feedback, but this is a private information your team will be receiving, so then you can follow up with the client additionally. Keep in mind that we can further automate communication with your clients related to their feedback. So if this was very positive feedback, 9 or 10, sure, we're asking them for their online review, but the next step can be involving them automatically in a referral campaign, because they're satisfied users. So maybe it makes sense, especially if you have some promotions, work on them on getting some referrals. And what I mentioned already a few times is that with Pathway, every communication is recorded. You would have reports. So dashboard is the place where you would have those reports. So first of all, on the first page, you can see what Pathway is syncing with your BMS. Then for emails, you can select the specific period you would like to focus on. And you can see exactly how many emails has been sent, open rates, click rates, spams, unsubscribes, shares. You can do an overall performance analysis, or you can focus on specific campaigns, whatever makes more sense. But then you can also see who are the most engaged contacts. So let's say this is a cross-sell campaign we're looking at here, report about the cross-sell campaign. So these are the contacts that are engaging with the content. They're opening emails, clicking on those links. So it makes sense for your team to follow up with them additionally. For each and every client, you would have a detailed list of activities. If they received an email, if they clicked on the link with timestamps. All of these reports can be downloaded, so you can select what you're interested in. So is it only opens or only unsubscribes? You can download the report whenever it makes sense, and you can also schedule these reports. So, for example, your marketing manager or someone from your team can receive a report on a weekly basis of all clients that have unsubscribed from the communication, or on a daily basis, clients that are engaging with some links you had in your marketing campaigns, so your team can pick up on it and follow up with them additionally. You can also see devices clients are using, the links they're clicking on. For SMS that we're yet to talk about, you would also have a separate reporting section. And for forms, if you remember a pre-renewal form, or again, any type of a questionnaire you would like to build using Pathway forms, you would have a separate reporting section where again, you can see if a client completed a form, when exactly that happened. You can download those reports, but then also we can analyze those questionnaires, and we can see for a specific questionnaire, what were the answers, what were the questions, what were the answers, how many people here said yes, who are those clients exactly. And again, you can download these reports, use these lists to target them further. There's a few more sections here. So NPS that we talked about. So asking clients for their feedback, how happy they are with the service. So you would be able to see exactly what is the percentage of your happy clients, passive, detractors. So mine is not looking good here. But then also for each and every client, you can see the rating they have provided, comments they have left, again, which can help you decide further if you would like to engage those clients additionally. Now, why is all that tracking and all those reports, why are they crucial? Of course, for E&O on one end, but then also what you're looking at right now, this is Pathway's UI, how Pathway workflows can look like. So Pathway is a lot more than a simple email blasting tool. First of all, for any workflow that we're setting up, using the data we have available in your BMS, we can create very granular segments and be very specific when deciding who do we want to target with any workflow that we're working on. Now, this looks very technical probably, but that's why we have our support team working with our broker partners. But again, that integration is crucial, and one of the main benefits of Pathway is the ability to use the data you already have to be very specific when deciding who you would like to target with a specific workflow. So contact details, policy details, second policy, activities, advances, again, depending on the system, coverage details, opportunities, RFQs, quote data, agency-defined categories, again, depending on your system and depending on exactly what we have available in the sync. But we can be very, very granular when deciding who we want to target here. So just to give you some examples, we already have some here, but maybe you would like to segment your clients based on a premium. So you would like to say that on this, so this is a workflow where we're targeting homeowners that have a premium less than 5,000, for example. And then additionally, you would like to segment those clients where, let's say, for example, clients that are not insured with Aviva, because for them, maybe you have a different workflow, different process. So this workflow is only is for all your clients, homeowners that have a premium below a specific threshold, that are not insured with Aviva, 60 one day before the renewal. And then again, we will have some additional filters here. There's a lot of templates that you can use when setting up a workflow, but more importantly, there is our team available, especially during the onboarding, to assist when setting these up. Again, for any automated workflow, we will have different triggers. So depending on what we're working on, so we can use renewal date, effective date, opportunities, activities, e-docs as trigger points. And then you can have different steps as part of your Pathway workflow. So if we look at this example here, the first step, one of the first steps here is to check basically if this is a valid contact. So if a contact entering this workflow is invalid, for them, we're not trying to send an email, but instead your team will receive an email alert. And here you can provide very specific instructions to them, what you would like them to do. And then they will receive an email from Pathway, so they can check client details. For those where we have valid contact, we're continuing with the workflow. And let's say our first step is to send an email, the one that we were looking at previously, pre-renewal reminder, informing the client their renewal is coming and asking them to update their information and to let you know if there are any changes on their end. What Assad was also mentioning, worth mentioning here as well, with pre-renewal letters, well, with any email in Pathway, you can automate coverage recommendations. So I'm going to take this opportunity to just show you quickly how that can look like. So when we're preparing an email, you can have basically a static part of the email and dynamic parts, what that means. So let's say this is the template email we would like every homeowner 60 days before the renewal to receive, to have in their email when receiving this letter, right? But then we can add additional coverage recommendations, for example, for clients that are missing sewer backup. We can prepare the recommendation, set up a condition that this is only for those clients missing sewer backup. We can save it and add it. And then we can create additional recommendations for clients missing overland water protection, and then maybe add additional conditions here, save it and add it. and so on. So we can have a whole list, and brokers typically do have a lists of these coverage recommendations. So what is the idea here? You have this text that every client receiving this email will have included, but then only those that are missing sewer backup will have that recommendation included. Only those that are missing overland water will have that recommendation included, and so on. So this helps you at the same time keep the content customized. So only clients that are missing specific coverage will have that content included. And at the same time, when it comes to E&O, automating coverage recommendations helps you reduce errors, right? Because there is no room for error once it is automated. And also because everything is recorded whenever needed, you can pull out a report that this has been communicated to the client. Back to the workflow. When we're preparing an email, we will also work on we will set up senders, right? So what will the client see when receiving this email? And typically we would have dynamic senders, as we call them, meaning that because Pathway can also sync staff from your PMS. So we can say that when an email is going out, CSR associated with a client on client level or policy level is the sender. So when the client is receiving an email, it's coming from a familiar email address, familiar name, right? Which always helps with delivery and open rates. And if a client is replying, here you can choose the same person is receiving the response directly to their inbox, or maybe now you want to switch. Or maybe, you had the owner of the brokerage sending the email, and now if a client is replying, CSRs are picking up on it. You can also have your team members copied, CC or BCC. You can set up the time when these emails are going out. You can skip weekends, so a lot of customization options here. So let's say we have our email and our questionnaire all ready. This email is going out 60 days before the renewal. But then we can continue with setting up this workflow, and we can say, okay, we want to give them a few days. And then first of all, check if email has been delivered. If you remember in the dashboard, you have all those reports. So exactly what happened with every email, every communication. So we can set up the process, what needs to happen if email wasn't delivered. So again, making sure there are no errors and your team is fully aware of every client that for whatever reason is not receiving an email, and setting up the process, what needs to happen in those scenarios. For those where email has been delivered, we can say, okay, email has been delivered, so that's good. The next step is to wait for a few days and then check if the questionnaire was completed. Because, right, not every client will complete that questionnaire as soon as they receive the email. So if the questionnaire was not completed, what do you want to happen there? If it was completed, maybe you have a different process. Typically, if there has been only one email sent and the client hasn't completed the questionnaire, brokers would send another email reminder. But again, depending on your process, we can have different steps here. Worth mentioning, so you can have SMS as part of your workflows as well. And again, using the data we're syncing with your BMS, we can have these texts fully personalized using client details, policy details, whatever you would like to have included here. We can even include links to these forms you would like them to complete. Even e-delivery links can be included in text messages. Additional options you would have here worth mentioning. So we can, as part of the workflow, maybe let's say here, if client is not completing the questionnaire, the first step can be Pathway creating an activity, a task, again, depending on your system, abeyance, suspense, assigning it to a specific team member with a specific description, code. So as part of the workflow, you can have Pathway creating updates in your system. Then we can, for conditions, we can look at, as mentioned previously. So what happened with the email? Was it open, sent, delivered, bounced? If you had a link you wanted them to visit, so we can track if there has been any interaction, what happened with the questionnaire, and a few more options that we don't have time to go through all of them today, but hopefully this gives you a good idea of how customizable workflows within Pathway are. And to wrap up, I would just like to briefly show you our client portal, self-service kiosk, that can be promoted to your clients as a website widget, a web progressive mobile app or desktop app, or embedded link in your emails. Compared to other portals out there, it's worth pointing out that kiosk is extremely user-friendly. So if you have it on your website, or again, if you're offering those links to your clients, when they want to log in, they don't need a username, they don't need a password, they don't need to create an account, which is typically reducing adoption rates from, again, based on the feedback we have from brokers. So this is a very user-friendly setup. Everything they need to do is provide their email address. When they do that, they will receive a one-time PIN code. And let me just grab mine. I just received it here. And every time it is a different code. So it is in no way a password I need to memorize. So this is a one-time code I'm receiving, and now I can log in. I can access my documents, pink slip, I can add it to the wallet. And yes, worth mentioning here, so pink slips, Pathway is generating pink slips based on the data in your BMS, and pink slips can also be part of your e-delivery workflows we were talking about previously. But then also these e-pink slips can be available to your clients through kiosk portal. So they can add it to the wallet. They can have an overview of their policy with most important coverage details, dates, and they can access your documents in full PDF and then download it on their device. And now, again, depending on your preference, there are different options you can offer here. So maybe a request a quote section to report a claim for auto policies, as in collect the data and submit them to the broker. Payments, so we can offer different payment options here, links to companies' payment pages, so depending on agency versus direct bill, home inventory, road services, submit requests to change policy, and also chat with your team. Now, this is not a chat bot, so in case some of you are fans of those bots, so with Pathway Kiosk, chat, if you enable chat feature, we always recommend having someone from the team staying on top of this because your team will receive notifications if anyone is submitting a chat request on the website, so then you can get back to them quickly. So I believe that was a decent overview, hopefully. Asad, back to you.
Awesome. No, that was definitely great. Good job, Dana. Now, before we move into the Q&A, just a quick recap on how Pathway adds value for our clients. So automating the routine tasks. So say goodbye to manual follow-ups and data entry by automating those tedious routine tasks. Keep messaging timely and personalized without extra effort by enhancing client communication. And of course, without any hesitation, you can enjoy a smooth experience that doesn't disrupt your existing workflows as Pathway seamlessly integrates with your BMS. So with that being said, this brings us to our Q&A session. Don't be shy. We'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions on how Pathway works, how it integrates with your BMS, or anything else, drop them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer them. I know it's been a lot of information, but we're happy to answer any questions you have.
Awesome. Yes, please do. We'll give it a moment. So we already have a few questions here. So one of the attendees is asking, can Pathway deliver invoices? So yes, for sure, as part of e-delivery workflows, you can have invoices delivered to your clients as well. Now we're seeing different approaches there. So some brokers are sending out billing reminders and adding all the details needed within the actual emails. Some are sending invoices and billing documents. So again, depending on your preference, all those are options. The next question is, could pink slip get automated for e-delivery? For sure, yes. So as part of your e-delivery workflows, you can have e-pink slips delivered to your clients. And as mentioned previously, Pathway would be generating those e-pink slips based on the data from your BMS. And we have another one. Can it segment based on agency versus direct bill? So I'm not sure, but the short answer is yes, for sure. So when we're setting up those workflows, one of the filters criteria that we're looking at can be billing type, right? Agency versus direct. It can be combined with other conditions or used as a standalone filter.
Yeah, great questions.
Awesome, yeah. Okay, looks like we don't have any additional questions, so that means we did a good job. Do we have a help desk? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, yeah, if by any chance you're an existing user, for sure reach out to our team via help desk or Slack or email, whatever makes more sense for you.
Great. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, that means Dana did an excellent job with the demo. I did an excellent job, so we're good. As a thank you for joining us, we will be emailing you a recap of today's session. Plus, if you book a meeting with us to explore how Pathway can streamline your workflows, we are excited to provide you with 50% off on the one-time data sync fee. And we'll also be announcing the winner of the Amazon gift card shortly as well. So thank you again to each and every one of you for joining us today. We hope to continue this conversation with you soon. Again, you'll receive a schedule link in your inbox shortly, and we're excited to help you take your brokerage to the next level with automation. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to continuing this conversation.
Thanks, everyone.